If you've heard of Soundcore, you know that they are an audio brand by Anchor and that they make some good sounding earphones and headphones. With these, they're trying to enter into a super niche market that you may not yet be aware that you're a part of. These are the Soundcore Sleep A10. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I've been kind of skeptical about sleep products like this, but Bose did try and make this popular a few years back with the Bose Sleep Buds first generation. Now I didn't go into this expecting much, but these are something else. Thank you to Soundcore for making this review possible and sending me a demo unit. So let's jump straight in with their build. The unboxing experience is certainly on the premium side, right from the moment you touch the box to the moment you touch the product. You get various sizes of ear tips as well as winglets on the left side of the box to make sure you get the perfect fit for your ears. The case and buds sit in the middle of the box over the literature and a charging cable which has a good length to it, unlike most cables you get with some earphones these days. Whether you use the smallest or largest ear tips, you get a double layer of insulation to help keep out any sound leak inward, and these are some of the most comfortable ear tips I've used in the recent past. The winglets are very soft silicone as well, which you can't really feel once you get used to wearing these. The passive isolation these managed to pull off is quite astonishing. I'm pretty certain the double layer has a lot to do with it. Soundcore claims it's able to reduce noises up to as much as 35 dB, which some active noise cancelling earphones can't do, and I don't doubt that these are able to achieve this. The case has a beautifully made white pearlescent finish showing off the Soundcore logo in chrome on the lid. It has 3 LED lights in front which indicate how much battery the case has, and the rear of the case has a USB-C charging point near a sync and reset button. You have to slide the lid upward to reveal the earbuds, which look quite tiny compared to any TWS earphones, making these quite light and comfortable to use even when sleeping. The buds have a similar pearlescent finish on the outside, which also works as a touch interactive area. The bud is made of a high quality plastic, while the chamber that leads sound to your ear is a brushed metal. These do look and feel quite premium every time you interact with them. These come with Bluetooth version 5.2, tap controls, and a whole lot of sleep features embedded into the app. Thankfully, you can listen to your own music and consume whatever media you have on your phone, including video, but I wouldn't recommend that because its response time is only 180 to 200 milliseconds, so you're bound to get a significant amount of lag while consuming that. Now, you can't take or make any phone calls with these because they don't have a microphone, and that's because these are purpose-built. They've been built specifically to be noise-masking sleep buds. Most of the magic happens in the app. In the home section, you can see your battery life per earbud, and you can select whether you want to be in the music mode or sleep mode. In the music mode, you can select the audio track you'd like to listen to on loop when you want to wind down at the end of the day. You get a series of audio loops you can select which upload directly to the earbuds that will play back when you fall asleep, or you can choose to listen to it while doing so. When in the music mode, you can listen to music from the device you're connected to, and considering these are sleep buds, the way these sound caught me by surprise. These also have preset equalizers, and you can customize the touch controls in the music mode and sleep mode to be able to switch between the two modes, reduce or increase volume, go to the next or previous track, or play and pause your music. In sleep mode, you're only able to toggle between the modes and play and pause your music. Then you have the sleep mode. When you go into this mode, music you may have been listening to on this device fades out and lets the chosen loop play back. You can control the volume manually as well as enable smart control, which adjusts the volume based on the level of external noises around you. This is governed by your broadcasting device's microphone, since the buds don't have one. You also have your sleep data recorded by the buds and app to show you how well you sleep through the night. It's always an interesting bit of data to go through, and these manage to capture that data from sensors they have in the buds. You can go into the settings from the sleep tab and add an alarm which wakes you up gently, and the alarm sounds like it's coming from a distance to begin with. If you go into the settings from the music tab, you get a smart switch feature, which when engaged, switches to sleep mode after pausing your music if you are playing any, and this occurs when it detects you've fallen asleep and plays the loop you've selected. It's got soft yet responsive prompts when you tap the buds, but if the prompts bother you, you can switch them off. They are a lot softer sounding than when you tap on the buds, so I don't really see them being too loud for anyone. You can add an alarm here as well and check to see if there are any firmware updates, and you also get your quick start guide and user manual here. You also have a small music library you can choose your loops from, so it's worthwhile spending time and figuring out what sounds you prefer. This is a chapter I originally thought I wouldn't be speaking about for this review, but not speaking about their sound would be criminal. Soundcore has done a terrific job tuning these. Considering how small these earbuds are, you'd think they'd come with armature drivers, but they don't. They come with tiny 5mm drivers, and these support SBC and AAC codecs. And they have a very respectable frequency response of 20Hz all the way up to 24,000Hz. On a volume front, these need to be cranked up if you really want to enjoy your music. So I was listening to music anywhere between 65 and 75%. But before I sleep, I usually tend to reduce the volume a bit, and it does thin out there, which is expected. You will have to crank up the music if you really want to push that tiny little driver. So I've tested these earbuds out anywhere between 60 and 65% because I'd say that's around an equal amping compared to other earphones at 50%. So these definitely have to be cranked up a little bit more, but you don't really need to go above 65 most of the time. Soundstage isn't too expansive, and I wasn't expecting anything better with these honestly, but the alarm that goes off in your ear in fact sounds like it's coming from a distance. So I found myself looking for my phone when these things were going off in my ear until I eventually realized that it was in my ear. So the alarm starts like it's coming from further away until eventually it sounds like it's closer and closer. It's a nice, soft, subtle way to wake up. When listening to your music, there is good enough separation between your left and right channel, and the phantom channel is dead center. Imaging isn't the best I've heard in the recent past, but it is more than good enough to listen to before retiring for the night. There is good separation and detail recovery, but don't expect audiophile levels of imaging. These were specifically built to help you fall asleep at night, not put on a live performance for you. High frequencies are soft, subtle, and nurturing in their delivery, ready to help lull you to sleep. This range is soft yet detailed in its delivery, ensuring you're able to hear details in music or natural sounds in its app like birds singing with water running by a stream nearby. It's not zapped up with adrenaline like some earphones can be, and is able to handle acoustic instruments with ease. Listening to Lady by the Sea by Stephen Sanchez, his guitar work and fingers sliding across his strings and fretboard are heard clearly, but not accentuated in brightness, making listening to tunes like this before shut-eye a very pleasant experience. Mid-frequencies are slightly recessed but come to you with more than adequate detail. Harmonies through some a cappella tracks are carried over without much effort, except for the fact that these have to be cranked higher up in volume to appreciate more detail. Female vocals come through a little more cleanly than male vocals do, but I'm just nitpicking. Listening to Justin Timberlake perform Say Something featuring Chris Stapleton, their voices manage to stay well defined but at times can seem to almost merge into one another when they harmonize. This range stays well structured despite these earbuds having a heavy bass delivery. And speaking about lower frequencies, it's like taking out your introvert friend after giving them a few pegs. It's got no restrictions and wants to let the world know it can. These have terrific bass extension and can certainly do 60 to 20 Hz. It's difficult to believe that these have a tiny 5mm driver that's able to push out sound like this. That too without messing up the mids and highs. Soundcore has done a great job tuning these. Listening to David Guetta's This One's For You featuring Zara Larsson, the bass is full-bodied but don't expect any tightness here. This range is certainly present and makes itself known by ensuring a certain level of inhibition is broken that a 5mm driver would usually have. If you find the bass a little too much for your liking, you can always play around with a few presets that are provided in the app. Now, if you find the bass a little too heavy, you can always go into the app and choose one of the presets, and you also get a custom equalizer with 8 bands. In the app, you get 21 presets, Soundcore Signature being the first selection. It's the closest to a flat sound, and you get the option to boost the bass in this even more with a bass up mode. With it, the bass can get a bit overbearing for me, but I can see some bass enthusiasts enjoying this. I tested these earphones on this mode with the bass up mode off and quite liked how they sounded. The other presets you get do as they say and give you a neat looking signature of how it's been tuned on the upper part of the app. This is a very neatly done app with a healthy amount of audio options for audio consumption. So to sum up, on a build front, I really like the way they've made this matte pearlescent finish. It's not going to scratch up anytime soon because of the finish they've chosen. It does feel very premium to hold and to handle. They've done a terrific job even with the silicone ear tips with the double insulation. So I can honestly say it might do maybe better than some ANC earphones that I've tried, maybe some more budget ANC earphones that I've tried. And the combination of that and the winglets and the algorithm and the driver playing sound at the same time does a very good job of masking noises. One thing I find really amazing is how small this is, because the entire earbud is actually the size of my thumbnail, and when I wear them, it actually, you can't see it when I'm wearing it because it fits so snug in my ear. I did think that this would be uncomfortable wearing and sleeping overnight because I sometimes sleep on my side, but I've slept through the night. These have not caused any discomfort. Maybe the first night it took a little getting used to, but after that it's been perfectly comfortable, and never have these actually fallen out at night. They fit pretty snug. On a feature front, it's nice to see that you can access your sleep data, because I'm sure a lot of people are very interested in this. The same way they've been interested in checking out fitness data of how they've managed to walk multiple steps a day or how many calories they've burned. This is also an interesting factor. Now, most of the features are in the app. So when it comes to choosing the best sounds or loops that you'd like to listen to, Soundcore has got a whole lot of loops, and I think they keep adding to this. On a sound front, that tiny 5mm driver is definitely a heavy hitter. Now, I'm pretty sure that if it didn't have the dual silicon tip for that isolation, which definitely helps, I'm sure it would have not sounded anywhere as good if there was any sound leak in, because a small little driver like that obviously can't push as much air as a larger driver, but it does pretty well for what it is. Now, I have had a few issues with these earbuds. They're not absolutely flawless. In fact, I did have to reach out to Soundcore because of the issues I was facing. I had constant drop-offs when I was consuming audio from my phone or my iPad. These work perfectly fine when you're using one of those loops, because those loops are transferred. The single file is transferred over to the earbuds and it plays it back on constant loop, which is fine. It usually happened if I put my arm next to my ear or something. So there was obviously some sort of obstruction. So I did reach out to them and they did say try doing a reset. I tried the reset, that didn't work. One thing that did help was they did mention that I may be using the wrong ear tip size, which I found a bit weird. How could that make any sense? But I have shifted to a smaller ear tip, and funnily enough, the connectivity issues that I was having have reduced significantly. There are multiple factors you have to consider. One is the ear tip, one is the winglet, and also don't tuck it too deep into the concha. Otherwise, this part of the ear, if it does cover the Soundcore logo, it can hinder the connectivity as well. But having gone through all that, just switching to a different size ear tip has definitely improved the way these function. So who are these for? They're definitely not for everybody. If you live in a metro city or you're close to some sort of building constructions or near a busy road that's always got activity on it, these could be for you, because I wouldn't say these will help absolutely everyone. It's a decision that you will have to make to see if you want something to mask the noises around you when you're sleeping. This will take some getting used to, because I remember the first day I woke up, it felt a bit odd to have something in my ears. But after that, I was kind of okay with the idea of this. And now I'm pretty comfortable waking up with these in my ear. I have been getting better sleep, and in fact, the app says that I'm sleeping faster than 90% of the people who are using this. So I guess it has helped me in some way or the other. But if you do want to try this out and you have the money to spend on something like this, I'd say you can try it out. So speaking about pricing, how much do these go for? Well, at the time of recording, these are going for $179.99. And are these really worth their price? Well, there are other sleep buds in the market, of course, but some of them do have armature drivers, which I don't think have a similar kind of frequency response. It's a much narrower band. So I don't think those will be as enjoyable to use when it comes to music consumption. But one thing to keep in mind is that these are purpose built. They are primarily sleep masking earbuds. Don't buy these expecting the best sound if you're looking for a set of earphones. These are more catered to helping you sleep at night rather than you being able to take phone calls, for example, or enjoy music, because these don't have a microphone and so on. So I'd say if you're certain that you do want to buy sleep buds in particular and try these out, and you do have the money for them, then I would definitely recommend them for you. So if you're still here, I presume you do like the content on my channel, and if you would like to support it, I'm sure you know exactly how to. I hope I've helped you make some sort of purchase decision. But of course, thank you for tuning into Paul's POV for some sound advice.